Jade, last year. What you're going to look for in Marques' presentation.
The purpose of the icebreaker is to introduce yourself to the club, and this will be your first time speaking before an audience. And the requirement is to have a clear beginning, body, and ending to the speech. And the title of his speech is The Power of Being Number Two. And I believe it calls for 4 to 6 minutes.
Right. Well,
I'm going to try not to use my nose, but if I have to pee, just look away. Power of being number two. First, I want to start off and ask, by show of hands, I can probably bet every dime in my pocket that none of you knew in 2012, Buffalo was ranked the second best city to relocate to in a poll. Yeah, it's 2012. Well, I thought the poll was rigged. Well, I'm going to introduce myself to those who don't know me. My name is Marques Clark. I want to go over the 3 W's instead of the 5 W's, who I am, where I'm from, and why I'm here. I'd like to start off with who I am. First, thank you, Toastmaster and Toastmaster members and guests. Where I'm from, who I am, and why I'm here. I'm a husband first, 5 years, married to a beautiful wife. I have 4 children, ranging from 10 to 2, and I'm a son of 8 kids. I have 6 sisters, 1 brother, and I'm the second oldest. I grew up in a house full of raging women stuff. And I had to get out, and when I had got out, I had to make my own friends. I brought up Buffalo because at the age of 6 years old, my mother moved us from here. My mother and stepfather, packed us up and moved us from here to Buffalo. And I don't know why. I mean, ask a psychiatrist that question. But they moved us up there. My dad had a sister who was dying from breast cancer. A year later, she died when we got there, and we stayed for 10 years. Don't know why. In those 10 years, I became what I would like to call a problem causing. I was a pain in my mother's side. I was the oldest boy, and I had to make my own friends, and my sisters didn't understand me. My mother didn't understand me. I was put back from the 2nd grade to the 1st grade, got to the 8th grade and failed that. I took summer classes to make up that just to get to the 9th grade. I lived my life as a juvenile in and out of detention centers because I was causing a lot of problems. My mother once took me down to the court and told the judge she couldn't handle dealing with me. And the judge didn't know what to do with me, so the judge said, all we can do is detain her. The judge locked me away for 90 days. I got in fights in there because all I did as a child was fight. I was angry for some reason. And that caused me another 90 days. So for 6 months, I was locked away just off of my mom bringing me downtown and telling the judge she couldn't handle me. So that made me mad at my mother. I was enraged. I was fueled with fire when I got out. And that living kept going as I got older. I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, friends nobody would agree with. And by the age of 14, I was engaging in early smoking, drinking, and just breaking into cars for money, and going downtown and stealing money out of wishing wells and getting chased by police for that all the time. My mom thought, well, the system can't detain him. What's the next best thing can we do for him to try and change me? So they brought us, my mom decided, her and my dad decided to move back to Florida, which is where we're from, St. Pete. And we got here, I was 16 years old, and nothing changed. The only thing that changed really was the environment, my surroundings, but the friends even stayed the same, because the friends I left there, I ended up picking up the same type of friends here. I started running in the streets, and by the age of 16, when I got back here, I left home. I never returned home. And I just kept going, running the streets, living in the streets, and not knowing who I was. I had a dad. My stepfather was there since I was a year old, but he, for some reason, was not involved. He was not active. He was a working man. He went to work every day, 14 hours sometimes, but would never say, hey, son, you can do better, or son, you don't need to live your life this way. So I had no man or mentor, so to say, to tell me or direct me in a way. So being that I had to find my own way, the only way I knew was the streets, and I got involved with doing all type of things in the streets that come with that lifestyle. Selling drugs, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, and I kept going and going. I wouldn't stop. I found myself in the hospital twice. My cousins would tell me, hey, we thought you were dead. I gave myself alcohol poison. I drunk myself into a stupor. That I was in the hospital. Tubes were in my body, in my stomach, and IVs were in my arm. I woke up not able to talk. This was twice I did this to myself. That didn't stop me. I continued to run on the streets. I engaged myself in, when I was selling drugs, a guy robbed me, a friend robbed me, I didn't expect, robbed me gunpoint, pulled the trigger, the gun didn't go off. So when that happened, I thought to myself, okay, by this time I had a girlfriend with 2 kids. And I thought to myself, okay, 2 kids won't allow me to stop. If I can't find my way back, find myself, I need to do something. So I just kind of slowed down. I backed away a little bit. As I backed away, the worst thing happened to me that changed my ways. I thought would never happen. 2006, December 25th, which is Christmas Day. A house fire break out. I have 2 children, and my girlfriend called me, get home, get home, get home, the house is on fire. Why do I need to get home? The house is on fire. Screaming, raging. I get home, I get over there, there's the house in flames, ball of smoke. I get there, try to rush in, save my son, my daughter's out, my girl's out, her mother's out, but I couldn't get in to get my son. And I wanted to die in there with my son because I almost died twice on my own, but never would have thought that, okay, the papers would have read, this is an honorable man who died trying to save his son. That's what I was thinking. I wanted to die with my son. I didn't allow myself to, let me say, God didn't allow me to do that, because before I could run in the house, I begged the fireman, please let me in. He said, no. I got on my knees. I called out, God, help me. God came, he gave me an answer. He said, son, it wasn't your mission to save your son's life. And he said to me, son, it wasn't the fireman's mission to go in and save your son's life. 4 months, my son was 4 months old. He said, son, it was your son's mission to save your life. And I got a vision from God, and he said to me, it was your son's mission to save your life. You have work for me to do, and I need you to finish it. Your time is not up there. This is why you are here. And when I discovered, when I put God to be #1 in my life, I found out the power of being #2. Thank you.